Hi everyone, today our topic is ratio of three quantities. So far we've only talked about ratios that involve two quantities. But of course, not every situation is just going to be comparing two different quantities. Like your recipe will have more than two ingredients. So you're going to want to possibly use a ratio of three quantities. So we're going to go over two different examples. Again, ratios is just like working with fractions. So it's going to be a lot of common denominators and simplifying and all that. Okay? So let's look at this first example. If A to B is equal to 5 to 6 and B to C is equal to 8 to 12, like 8 to 11, find the ratio of A to B to C. Okay, so let's take out our pen and write this down. So A to B, I like to write it as a fraction because then I can compare it better. Because going horizontally is hard for your eye to compare things. A to B is the same as 5 to 6. So that way the A and the 5 line up, the B and the 6 line up. And then B to C is the same as 8 to 11. Okay, so now they want us to find A to B to C. All right. Let's see. A to B is 5 to 6. B to C is 8 to 11. So what they have in common is that B, right? They both have a B answer. And we now need to combine them together so that we have one ratio of A, B, and C. So this is what I mean by this has a lot of similarities with working with fractions. Because if I know that I need to connect these two different ratios together and their one common quantity is B, and that's 6 and 8, I need to basically find what 6 and 8 both can get to. What's their least common multiple, okay? I need to find the least common multiple of 6 and 8. What can 6 and 8 get to? You might want to list all the multiples of 6 and 8 so you get to something similar or the same. 6, 12, 18, what's next? 24, 30, and so on. 8 is 8, 16, 24, 32. We already have a winner though, that's 24. So their least common multiple is 24. How do I get to 24 from 6? I multiply by 4 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4th multiple. Make sure I do that to the top and bottom. How do I get 8 to 24? I multiply by 1, 2, 3 because it was the third multiple. So 5, 6, or 5 to 6 becomes 20 to 24. 8 to 11 becomes 24 to 33. Now this looks weird, right? Because normally we find when we're finding the least common multiple, we're looking for a common denominator. So we would normally see 24 on the denominator side, but this one's going to look a little different because B was written on the bottom for the first ratio, but written on the top for the second ratio. But you're on the right track here, so don't be confused. Okay. So now we have the B's matching. So we can actually combine them into one ratio with the three quantities. A is 20. B is 24 for both. And C is 33. Okay, we needed both those B's to be the same in order to then join those two ratios together under one big ratio. All right. Because if they have two different B's, then they're not comparable. You can't really compare A, B, and C together. B is their one common thread. Now, I can probably reduce this further, right? Because it looks, or can I don't know actually. Because 33 has the factors of 3 and 11, pretty much. And 24 is divisible by 3, but 20 is not. So I think we're done here, actually. Here's our final answer. The ratio of A to B to C is 20 to 24 to 33. All right, let's do one more example. This is the try it from your book. If A to B equals 7 to 10 and B to C equals 15 to 8, find the ratio of A to B to C. This is just like the problem we just did, so go ahead and pause your video and try this one on your own. All right, so again, I'm going to write my ratios as a fraction because it'll be easier for me to compare the numbers. So A to B is 7 to 10, B to C is 15 to 8. Again, they both have this B in common, which is 10 and 15. So I need to find the least common multiple of 10 and 15. Okay, the multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. 15 is 15, 15 away is 30, then 45, and so on. But our least common multiple looks like it's 30. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to multiply 10 by a number to get to 30. 10 is going to multiply by 3 to get to 30. Same with the top, because we don't want it lopsided. 15, so used to going to the bottom. 15 is going to multiply by 2 to get to 30, because it was the second multiple. Okay, so 7 times 3 is 21, 10 times 3 is 30, 15 times 2 is 30, which we wanted, 8 times 2 is 16. So now we have the 30s in common for the B. So the ratio of A to B to C is 21 to 30 to 16. Okay? And can I reduce that further? I don't think so, because 21 has the factors of 3 and 7. That's the only ones. And 7 doesn't go into 16. So they don't have any common factors to get to. Okay, so that's your answer. The ratio of A to B to C would be 21 to 30 to 16.